everybody. They're great papers so far. I'm really impressed by the diversity of topics, too. I feel like that is a really good reflection of our school. All the people we have here doing awesome things. We have one left. It's Dr. Lin-Man Wu and Denetra Walker. Is that right? That's the last one. So how interactivity influences evaluations of product choice among consumers with different levels of desire for control. And this won the second place faculty paper award in the Communication Technology Division.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I just want to start off by welcoming Denetra Walker. I'm a second year MA student, and of course, I work with Dr. Wu. And I just want to say, first off, I was totally out of my comfort zone, which is a good thing, because Dr. Wu pushed me, he challenged me, but he was also patient with me. So whenever anything I had questions about, he was always there to answer my questions and just say, hey, Denetra, just try this. And I appreciated that, and I hope you guys will appreciate being patient with me today as well. Because I'm still learning about experiments, but at the same time, I really enjoyed working on this project. So we start off with the research question, which is the current study looking at interactivity. We're looking at a small choice set and whether consumers and evaluating their high desire for control. So we're going to start off with product choice. We're going to conceptualize it. Basically, we're looking at the number of products, right? There are 3 versus 15, because previous research studied those particular numbers and basically said that individuals exercise control over their environment by making choices. So we're looking at that, operationalizing that by 3 products or 15. And then previous research also shows us that people feel reduced control when they're offered a small choice set. So, desire for control. This is an individual trait that can be manipulated. It's a psychological thing. But previous research finds that desire for control is more sensitive to reduced control than their low desire for control counterpart. So basically, people are motivated to see themselves in control in events in their lives. And a way to kind of operationalize this, we came up with, Dr. Wu came up with a website basically, and in the pre-test, basically had people write about experiences where they did not have control over a particular situation. So that was an opportunity for them to talk about a situation. So you can look at that for the particular experiment. Interactivity, the degree to which a user can exercise control over the content that's offered on a particular medium. And previous findings shows that interactivity positively influences users' attitudes by affording them information control. So with this particular project, they were able to show whether they had control over a particular situation based on this website. And to operationalize, basically, in this particular project, we're looking at pace, we're looking at sequence, we're looking at different variables all on the website, which is important for being able to measure and see what type of results we're going to get for this particular project. So that's just a little basis from that. So of course this is an experiment, right? So we need something to experiment with. Well, this is a lovely website that we were able to come up with. Everything that you see outside the picture was created through this particular project. Here is low interactivity, and the other 3 screens are high interactivity from the websites. Right now you see that you don't see as much product choice, but there were several websites to measure that as well. But here, when you're looking at low interactivity, this was one of the faces of the website. The only thing that participants were able to have control over was sequence. That's it. So when you go to the particular website, all you can do is say, hey, I can go to the home page, but everything had to be in a sequential way. So if you wanted to go to the end and rush and see if you could do contact information, you couldn't do it. You had to go through each step with this particular low interactivity. So we moved down to high interactivity over to this side. Basically, we step it up a notch, right? Well, a couple notches. But if we look at the same thing, you see the same kind of website, but at the same time, this right here, now people had a little more control over not just sequence. So now you can go and you can say, well, what if I want to go to the home page? But wait a minute, I'm impatient, right? I just want to know more about this particular website brand. So now you can have control over sequence and pace, but now you can also have control over media. In low interactivity, you basically didn't have to press a button. And the pictures of the wallets would just change on their own. But if you go to high interactivity, now you have control. Because what if you want a blue one? Or maybe you want it brown? Or maybe you want it caramel, like a caramel color, right? So now you can have more control over these particular variables. And then if you go down here, you have even more control over variables for high interactivity. You can click on this particular image, and now you can have a scale of what you're looking at. This is based off of you. Now you can have more control to see, what if I want to see another picture coming out of this? And that was by someone clicking. So you did not have those options in low interactivity. And then later, we have a scale here, like a poll. In low interactivity, with a poll, all you were able to do is basically see it. With higher interactivity, now you can interact with it and you can actually press on it. And then lastly, for higher interactivity, we have the contact information. Well, this is the transaction. So on low interactivity, this right here was the only thing you would see. So if you wanted to contact the company, you would have to do something outside of just the website. But here, you can actually type into the interface and be able to put the information into the website and interact. So, of course, this is a website design. It's an experiment. MTurk was the way we're able to get people to do so, to take part in this. And they were randomly selected, so didn't have control over which particular part of the website that they were able to do. And they had to go through each, there were times to have to go to each particular thing. So what does this tell us? This tells us that when you have a small choice set, that those with high desire for control had expressed a more favorable view towards product attitude. And in low desire for control, they expressed the same amount of similar attitude across high and low interactivity models. And then over here, that didn't occur on the other side, when it came to a large choice set. So in discussion, this is the first of its kind that adds to this particular research that demonstrates the power of digital media as we're moving into that area, eliminating the barriers of accepting a small choice set. It also shows that it adds to the literature of technology for desire of control influences and how individuals respond to different levels of interactivity that we talked about a little earlier, and that this study, it advocates the interactivity as information control perspective. So thank you for your time.